So,
And is it true that some of these chambers don't go to the outside, or some of the shafts? Like some do, but
well,
some don't?
yeah. I mean, they go in the direction. We don't know if they fully go to the outside because we haven't been able to get something to go all the way up through it.
Mm.
But they seem to point to those directions. So
Now, if this is somehow conducting electricity, what is the benefit of these shafts, or like how does the layout of this
well, the shafts
contribute?
I don't think it contributes. Well, so one of the theories. This is going to get really wild, but bear with me. One of the theories is that when these arcs were turned on and the pharaoh was in there, they acted as stargates. They acted as a way to not necessarily transport physically, but transport the consciousness of the pharaoh to these star systems. And these shafts happen to point to places like Orion, Sirius, which was associated with the goddess Isis, and it tracks that. They tend to lock on into these areas, and then the pyramids themselves, the three pyramids, seem to mimic the three stars of Orion's belt. So again, it's all pointing to Orion. But one of the shafts is also pointing to Sirius, which was Isis, associated with the goddess Isis in antiquity. And by the way, Isis means seat or throne. So even Osiris or Osar gets his name from Isis. The Os part of Osar comes from Isis, meaning throne. And that's where Osiris gets his power from, is from the throne, from Isis. And then the Sar part was like his actual name,
I see.
Yeah, so there was a relationship there where the seat of power was tied to Isis, and that was connected with Sirius. And then Osar or Osiris himself was connected with Orion.
I see.
And there was a relationship there between Sirius and Orion.
Do all of these ancient cultures, do they have a reverence for Orion as a constellation?
Yeah, either Orion or the Pleiades. Most of them are, for example, the three pyramids at Teotihuacan in Mexico, just outside of Mexico City. They're aligned with Orion's belt as well. And they have the same mathematical relationships to the pyramids in Egypt. There's also three pyramids at Xi'an in China, and they're also aligned with Orion's belt. And if you were to take those three, if you were to lay out a flat map of the world with Teotihuacan, Giza, and Xi'an, they are also in the shape of Orion's belt.
Right.
So
aren't they all like roughly on like a straight line as well?
Yeah, very closely related to the 30th parallel. Which is the 30th parallel north is actually where NASA launches its rockets to. It's kind of interesting.
Right.
There seems to be something related to that. But there's other structures around the world like Angkor Wat in Cambodia has associations with Orion's belt. And other places, there are indigenous places in the Southwest associated with the Hopi tribes that are connected with Orion's belt. And then there are places like the Mayan Tulum. All the structures are laid out according to the Pleiades. And in particular the star system of Aldebaran.
And what is that?
It's the bull's eye. It's the eye of the bull. It's the eye of Taurus.
Mm.
That's where we get the bull's eye from in archery, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So these star systems are pretty fundamental in the ancient world that is found with these ancient monuments. It's believed that from a Templar perspective, we've also found replicas of arcs at these places, which suggests that at one point in time, these different ancient cultures and these ancient monuments all had an arc,
Mm-hmm.
which probably formed like a world grid network of electricity, broadcasted electricity at one point in time, which could have been used for powering things, but it also could have been used in the technology somehow of transporting the human consciousness to these through these stargates to these other star constellations.
So correct me if I'm wrong here, but this theory kind of follows that you have this electroconductive materials that exist in Egypt in the form of these arcs that are then in the form of these massive structures like the pyramids,
right,
that the Hebrews are acutely aware of. I mean,
right,
they are living in Egypt for, many, decades, centuries perhaps.
Right.
And then when they leave, they take this technology with them and they create these sort of mobile, hyperconductors for some type of spiritual communication.
Correct. Yeah. In fact, the theory is the way the Templar Order looks at it now is that so there was the Pharaoh Akhenaten. He existed about 1350 BC. Pharaoh Akhenaten is the first to proclaim monotheism. He says, look, don't worship the gods. The gods are metaphor, but there is one true God, and this is the secret of the pharaohs. And he comes out and he calls the god Aten, and he has the sun as a symbol of the Aten. And, or my Aten, which in Egyptian was Atenai, right? So Akhenaten exists for a little while. His queen is Nefertiti, who may have been a Mayan princess. And his daughter, by the way, ends up going up to Scotland. Her name is Scotia. That's what Scotland's named after.
Scotia?
Yeah, Princess Scotia. She was an Egyptian princess. That's what Scotland's named after.
Right. And is that Templar tradition or is that official?
No, that's official.
Really?
Yeah, it's official. So Akhenaten, he exists for a while. He's deposed by the Amun priesthood. They put up with his Aten religion for a little while, but then he gets deposed. He has a brother by the name of Tutmosis, who grows up in the court with Akhenaten, but he's never pharaoh. When Akhenaten gets deposed, Tutmosis takes the Atenist followers and he leads them out of Egypt into Lebanon, or the region of Lebanon initially. Well, Tutmosis is Moses. Right? He grew up in the Egyptian court with the pharaoh, but he never became pharaoh himself. He was a high priest in the court. The Atenai becomes Adonai in Hebrew, which means Lord. And he leads them into the region of Lebanon.